Okay. Mackie, you want to wave?
Just Van?
They
don't have to wave.
Bigger hand.
Cordy? Lee? And Guy? And Kylie? And myself.
Condoleezza Rice once said, "Our work has only begun. In our time, we have a historic opportunity to shape a global balance of power that favors freedom and that will therefore deepen and extend the peace." I selected Condoleezza Rice as a great person to follow because I believe everyone should respect and admire her. She was the first black Secretary of State and the second woman ever to hold this position. I believe that the audience, you all, will benefit from hearing about Condoleezza Rice because she is a very inspirational woman that talks about taking every opportunity available, and she's a role model of following her passions and pursuing her talents. Condoleezza Rice is a respectable and admirable woman for three major reasons. First, I'll give you a brief overview of her background. She was born in 1954 in Birmingham, Alabama during the Civil Rights Movement. She skipped the 1st and 7th grade, went straight to college at age 15, studying political science at the University of Denver. She gained her MA in political science at the University of Notre Dame, and then went back to the University of Denver to gain her PhD in poli-sci. She was a teacher, a professor, and provost of Stanford, and at the same time she was a board member for Chevron, Hewlett-Packard, and Charles Schwab. She was also on the U.S. National Security Council. She was a White House National Security Advisor as well as a U.S. Secretary of State. She's a very intelligent woman who followed many educational paths before finding her calling as a professor at Stanford, and later a leader of our country. Now that you know a brief background, I will tell you all about her first accomplishment. Condoleezza Rice was an accomplished pianist at a young age. She grew up learning French, piano, figure skating, and ballet, all which deal with music. She mastered the piano by age 3, and she was told she could be a concert pianist. But at the age of 15, she realized that she was not good enough to support herself if she was a concert pianist. But she continues to play the piano with the Chamber Music Group in Washington, as well as at public venues, also in Washington. Her professional career took a different turn, as I will discuss next. She was the first female, first minority, and youngest provost academic officer at the University of Stanford. At Stanford, she was responsible for managing a multi-million-dollar budget, and when she got there, there was a $20 million deficit at Stanford. But within 2 years, she was able to bring it up to a $14 million surplus. She's paid special attention to converging ethnic communities around the Stanford campus, as well as departing from affirmative action and tenure decisions. What is the last thing that Condoleezza Rice is known for? Rice served at the National Security Council. She was a foreign policy advisor. She was a national security advisor, and as you well know, the Secretary of State. As Secretary of State, she focused on transformational diplomacy, which was gaining a democracy in the Middle East. She was an expert on the Soviet Union, but her theories and ideas did not go into effect until after September 11th. She campaigned for democracy across the Middle East, as well as a restructure of the U.S. diplomacy. She strongly supported the Bush administration and relied heavily on the president to promote her beliefs with international governments. So now I will conclude. In summary, Condoleezza Rice was exceptional for 3 reasons. She was an expert pianist. She changed how Stanford ran and changed many things as Secretary of State. I'll leave you with a Condoleezza Rice quote. "But the truth of the matter is, we are an open society. We want to remain an open society, and there will continue to be vulnerability. That's why we have to meet the threats when they are not taking place on our own territory." Thank you.